What's going on, guys? Hope you're doing well, safe and sound, away from all this craziness in our world. And it is day number 3. Day number 3 back. So we're going to go over the first 2 days. I was back in the gym. And I'm going to go through a few COVID helpful hints if you get COVID. We're going to talk about a few things. So for right now, this is my first day doing fasted cardio again. I did cardio yesterday for the first time in 4 weeks. After my workout, I did the circuit. We'll talk about that in a second, but today's the first day doing fasted cardio in 4 weeks, which for me, it's very strange. I do fasted cardio at least 4 days a week. Now, usually I get it in 5 days a week. I just take Sundays off. Because on Wednesdays today, I usually use the Peloton bike, which is way too hard right now. I'm just back on the treadmill now. So I do Wednesdays and Saturdays in the Peloton, Sundays off, and the rest of the days I do on the treadmill. So I'm back to the treadmill today just to see how it feels. Like no food in my system, fasted first thing in the morning. Well, it's actually in the afternoon now. So I did a bunch of shit this morning, a bunch of emails and stuff. And then finally getting to it now, so I haven't eaten yet. So I'm actually a little bit out of breath. It's only been on there a couple minutes. And this COVID shit really does impact your respiratory system long after you actually recover. So let's get this done. Let's start the day. Got some cool stuff going on today. All right, so cardio is done, which I was a little winded, which I expected, but I've been through something similar to this before when I had pneumonia. When I was in my early 20s, I was laid up in the hospital, and when I got out, I was really weak, and walking up a flight of stairs, I was out of breath. And it's the same exact thing now pretty much, except I was in the hospital for a week in my early 20s when I had pneumonia. Now it was 3.5 weeks. So there's a big difference between the time lengths that that I was laid up for. And usually this is not one of those things where people get sick it's just like a thing that happens all the time. What I just went through is a very rare, you only go through it a couple times in your entire life if you're lucky, right? And if you go through it more than a few times, you probably have some damage and some issues. And I wanted to clear up some very important things where there are people out there that are like, it's just a cold, get over it, fuck you. Of course, these are going to be trolls that they say shit like this, but listen, guys, I'm being dead serious about what's going on right now. Look, I don't suggest the vaccine. I don't tell you not to get it. You do whatever you want. Take the vaccine, don't take the vaccine. I don't give a shit. Me, I'm personally not vaccinated, all right? I don't give a fuck what people think about it. I'm just personally not. There wasn't enough information about this thing to where I felt comfortable getting it. My wife is vaccinated. I don't give a fuck. It is what it is, guys, all right? But the whole bottom line is, this thing hit me so hard that I didn't think it was a joke before, right? But I thought, like everybody else, I said, it's just kind of like a flu, right? It's like a cold. Or this strain is like a cold. Well, here's the deal. This strain is hitting everybody differently, okay? So you might get it and get the sniffles and a little bit of a cough for a couple days. Other people like me might get it and get hit, literally laid up for 3 weeks. I have another friend who's triple vaxxed. He had both vaccines as well as the booster. He wound up on oxygen in the hospital at the same time I was laid up here. So it hits everybody differently. And you can be a dick about it and say, oh, it's just the sniffles. Look, I've got one friend that literally just died from it. The first person I know that died from COVID in Rhode Island 2 weeks ago, he died. And right after that, my other friend was in the hospital on oxygen, and he's double vaxxed with the booster. He was in the hospital. So I'm looking at it going, he was on oxygen. I'm like, this thing isn't like what we think it is. It's not as simple as it's this, and we're done. It's not. One person, it might be the respiratory thing. The other person, it might be, they could fuck with your heart, your lungs. With me, it went directly to my lungs. And I was trying to make sure I used my inhaler so many times during, the day when you're only supposed to use it maybe twice. I was using it multiple times. I'd get up in the middle of the night, choking because I couldn't breathe. So my lungs, it was starting to try to fill my lungs up with fluid. And I knew if I could get that stuff out, that I wouldn't wind up in the hospital. But if I didn't get it out, I was fucked. I was going to have COVID pneumonia. I was going to be on a fucking vent and I'd be dead. That is where it was going. Why? Because it's happened to me in the past and I have a weakness in my lungs because of that. And I usually say it's asthma, but because people don't understand, when you've had chemical pneumonia and you're laid up and you're literally dying, it scars your lungs. So you don't have the full capacity in your lungs. So someone like me who gets COVID, it's very dangerous. So let's, just be very clear on this whole thing. But, luckily, I pulled through obviously because I'm standing here talking, but Metrics. I love the chocolate ones. But I thought through the whole thing, I was like, look, there were points where I felt okay, points where I just went downhill. and fast. So I'm happy to be out of it. I'm happy to be feeling better. We got to do a few things today. I woke up this morning at 196 pounds. Yesterday was a good workout. Monday, you guys saw the workout, I put it up. Yesterday, which was Tuesday, today's Wednesday. For those of you that don't know the days of the week. I added in calves, I added in abs, and I added in 10 minutes of cardio after my workout yesterday. So I'm using like a progression to get myself back. So I figured it took me out for 3 weeks. And then when I was out at Nationals, I didn't train. So that was 4 weeks. So if I've been out of the gym 4 weeks, it's going to take me 4 weeks to get back to full speed. That's what I'm banking on anyways. That's what I'm planning. I'm not jumping right back in and trying to lift all this weight and all this shit. No, like, you know, everything is a progression, right? As you get ready for a show, you progress. When you're done, you reverse diet and you're progressing reverse that way. Like if you're trying to get bigger and stronger, it's a progression of, you know, adding weight, adding food, you know, etc. If you're trying to get lean, it's a progression of using cardio to get leaner, right? Or using reverse progression to drop down your calories, whatever the case may be. So there's always a progression to it. So I think what happens is we get so excited, we're so amped up to be back, that we just jump into shit, and that's how you get injured. So that's what I'm trying to avoid. Now, when I started to come out of the fever and the headaches and stuff, and I started to feel a little better, I decided, and I found this. So check this out. I found this. So I actually had a bottle of BPC 157, which is a healing peptide, that Titan Medical had actually sent me when I tore my pec. So they sent me 2 bottles. Apparently I only used one. I didn't remember because it's been a while. So I was like, shit, I'm going to start using this while I'm out of the gym to help my body heal up. So when I get back into the gym and I can start slowly increasing again, my body will be a lot, I don't want to say stronger because I'm coming back from COVID, but I'm like, maybe it helps with, you know, coming back from COVID too, or flus or whatever, right? It's a healing peptide. It regenerates the strength of your tendons, your ligaments, your muscles. I'm like, fuck it. So I went on that. I've been on that for about 2 weeks now. And the, of course, Titan Medical, the first thing that they sent me while I was sick was this new product called Triimmune Boost, right? Now, this one has glutathione, 200 milligrams, ascorbic acid, vitamin C, and zinc. It's an injectable therapy from them. Unbelievable. Look it up. Contact them. You know, this is definitely an advertisement for them because within one shot of this one, the next day I started to actually feel better a little bit. And I kept using it. And I started getting better faster and faster. And glutathione would be responsible for that, to be totally honest with you. Look it up what glutathione is. Contact Titan. You know, do what you got to do. But bottom line, that helped out a lot. So today I want to kind of go over a couple things that really helped me out. So when I lost my taste, so hang on, let's do the timeline because we never get the full timeline, right? So I wake up with the fever Monday morning. I'm all fucked up. Things go downhill. I get the fever for 7 or 8 days. The 9th day I started to come out of it. Now I get the therapy from Titan on the 7th day. I come out of it the 9th day and I'm like, okay, but I can't smell or taste anything. And because of not being able to taste anything, everything was unpalatable. Like nothing, I couldn't get anything down. Like even water, like it was weird. Water tasted fucking weird. Like everything was just weird. And I'm like, I'm trying to power down food. I even took like a little bowl of plain white rice. Took 2 bites. I couldn't take any more of that. I had plain oatmeal, right? Tried to do the plain oatmeal, anything just to get it down. I'm like, I can't fucking do this. Like I can't eat. My weight's starting to crash like that. And I'm getting weaker and weaker as I can't eat and I can't hydrate. So as I'm starting to get sicker and sicker throughout this fever, and of course the fever, your body's burning more calories. So I'm just fucked in a whole bunch of different ways. And I was like, look, I'm going to treat this like my body's going through a workout. Now, what would I be doing if I was doing like a 3-hour fucking giant workout and I was taxing my body like crazy? What would I do? Well, I put nutrients in it while I'm training. Okay, well, how do I do that? I can't get food down, right? I can't get the water down. So I was like, shit, I need to figure this out. So what I decided was I came upon this old trick that I used to do, of course, when I was trying to really get big and I couldn't eat the food. What I would do is mix up like a post-workout drink. And I would just sip on that throughout the day. So it wasn't even counted as part of my meals. It wasn't even counted as part of my macros. It was just there, like an IV full of nutrients, just pushing amino acids, carbohydrates, etc. into my body throughout the day because I couldn't eat enough food. So for me, I was probably only eating, honestly, maybe 4,500 calories or something back then. And that was a lot of food for me to get in. So in order to keep my body growing, couldn't fit any more food in. Just couldn't do it. Don't have the appetite, never have. So I started mixing up the post-workout. So what I did was I took Intrapost, and you don't have to use Intrapost. You can use any intra-workout, post-workout shake that is usually like a light flavor. So when you flavor it, it's more like a fruit flavor instead of like a thick, like vanilla or chocolate or something like that. A scoop and a half of that with a scoop of aminos, and just sipped on that as best I could. And then we decided, because my electrolytes were really dropping, Pedialyte, plain old Pedialyte. And I do feel like that really helped me a lot as far as, you know, keeping like to where I wasn't going to be hospitalized. I was getting weaker and weaker. I was like, shit, I know where this is going. So that actually really did help me stay out of the hospital. I'm going to be honest with you, right? I really believe that that's a big part of it. Now, it's Wednesday now, and it's been 4 weeks since I left for nationals today. So it's been officially a month that I've been out of the gym, etc. I'm starting to get my shakes in. You guys see the metric shake I'm doing right now. We got to go run a couple errands. You guys are going to come with me to run the errands. But the bottom line is, guys, like, you know, this thing is not what you think it is. There's a lot of people out there making fun of it. There are people that thought I didn't believe in COVID. There are actually friends that thought I didn't believe in it. I'm not going to say I didn't believe in it. I just didn't know enough about it. It was so different from person to person that, you know, let's be real. Like, we don't know what the fuck is going on. We have no idea what's going on with this thing, right? So as I wind up finding out that I have COVID, realizing how sick I am, I said, you know what, like, I got to talk to people about this. Like, I got to tell people, because there's a lot of people that I know that haven't had it, or they've had it like mild, and they think it's a joke. And I'm like, if an older person, like a parent or grandparent, have what I have, they're fucking done. Like, there's no way. Like, I'm going to say I'm young. I'm 46 years old, so I'm like middle-aged. But I'm healthy. I'm strong. I take care of myself. I eat right. I exercise all the time. I try to get enough rest. So if this thing hits me like this and it hits somebody else, like my mom, like this, it's going to fucking level them within a couple days. They'll be dead. There's no way. So that's my warning to you guys. For those of you guys out there that, look, you might not get it. You might get something very mild like my wife did. You might get slammed like I did. It just hits everybody so different, right? And this is one of those things where I'm not trying to scare anybody. I'm not trying to make light of it. I'm kind of right down the middle of the road on this thing. I'm like, look, it could be very bad. It could be nothing. We don't know until you fucking get it. But the problem is, once you get it, it's too late. If you don't have a plan when you get it, you're fucked. It's too late. It's over. So what's the plan? Well, the tips that I have, honestly, are using the intra and the amino acids. It helps a lot. It really does help a lot with your keeping your strength up so that you don't wind up, and you still might wind up getting hospitalized. We don't know with this whole thing, right? Trying to use the gland foods and stuff like that, but taking stuff like, of course, vitamin C, right? Vitamin D. Where's the zinc? Your multivitamin. For me, anxiety was crazy during it because I couldn't breathe. My Delparol, so I stayed on the Delparol the whole time. And that's actually something we should talk about right now. So I, of course, have my inhalers for what I call asthma, but I actually had pneumonia when I was younger, and it scarred my lungs. So I have this issue with my lungs. Now, there were times during this, towards the end of it, right? So I went through the fever, got out of the fever, and had the splitting headaches. The headaches were just like, I thought I was having a stroke. I really thought I was having a stroke. It was like one side of my head, one side like over here, and it was just fucking like, whoa. And when it fucking hit, you were like I literally would sit on the couch and go like, ugh, because it fucking hurt so bad. Took Tylenol, took Advil, took aspirin, nothing. Erin gave me a migraine medication she's like, try this, like anything. Fucking nothing. So that went on for about 4 or 5 days with these splitting fucking headaches. And as these headaches are taking place, I'm noticing that I'm having harder and harder time breathing. If I take a deep breath, I would just start coughing. So I'm breathing like these shallow fucking breaths. Well, dude, somebody with anxiety, when you're breathing like that and you feel like you can't breathe, and going back to my past when I was hospitalized with pneumonia, I remember not being able to breathe and thinking I was going to die and freaking the fuck out. And they had to give me something to calm me down because I was losing my mind because I couldn't breathe. If you've ever been in a position where you can't breathe, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, you have no fucking clue what this feels like. So I was sitting there like choking and coughing, which was bad enough during the day, but in the middle of the night, I would wake up because I couldn't breathe, right? My lungs were starting to fill up. So I'd get up in the middle of the night, like freaking out, anxiety through the fucking roof, walk over, grab my inhaler, hit it 3 times instead of just the 1 or 2, and start coughing shit up to get it out purposely. So like all day and all night, I was coughing shit up, using my inhaler like 10 times a day to try to get this shit to work. And it did, okay? It did. It helped get the shit out of my lungs. It kept me from being hospitalized for the lung issue. But that went on for about 3 or 4 days, maybe 5 days, to where I wasn't really sleeping anymore. I had splitting headaches. I was fucking coughing and not breathing right. And I'm like, this is it. Like, there's so many things going on in my body right now. Like, I don't know what the fuck is going to happen. Like, there's a very good chance I could fucking lay down tonight and my respiratory system just says, fuck it. Right? So there's that whole aspect of not being able to breathe that, of course, will kick up your anxiety. And it's a fucking horrible thing, guys. Trust me. And other things that we took during it were this CBD from Farmhouse. So I used that because of the inflammation. Now check this out. It's in some research. When you lose your taste and your smell, it's actually a nerve that runs up to your brain that winds up, it goes through like your whole side of your face, that winds up being inflamed. Now, when that inflammation happens, that's when the headaches happen, right? So they're not migraines. They're headaches from that fucking nerve that goes in your brain. So I'm like, shit, I need something anti-inflammatory, right? So I took the Advil, I took the Tylenol, it wasn't working. I took the CBD and it lessened it a little bit enough to where I could be like, fuck. Like it shortened or it lengthened the times between the waves of the pain that would come. Because when I didn't take it, it'd be like, wow. And you're like, fuck. Wow. You're like, fuck. And wow. You're like, geez. You can't even fucking breathe because your head hurts so fucking bad. And I remember thinking, like, this is it. Like, I'm having a stroke. This is fucking it. And I'm like, should I wake Aaron up? Like, it was a fucking mess. And the CBD did calm it down enough to where I could fucking just be like, either I'm gonna fucking die or I'm not, but I wish one or the other would happen real fucking quick because I can't take anymore. And that went on for the full 3 weeks. So finally, like, I woke up one morning and I was like, all right, I don't have a headache. I don't have a fever. I'm like, oh shit. And I was coughing, so the cough lasted for about another 2 or 3 days after I started to feel better. And I'm like, shit, but when I stood up, I'd be like, I was like, I'm weak. Like, fuck, it's just like when I was in the hospital when I was younger and I got out. I'm feeling weak now. And for me, a lot of times when I get sick, my metabolism speeds up like fucking crazy. I think it works that way for most people, but mine will go so fast that even when I'm better, I'm still losing weight. Like, I've been going a little bit hard with the calories, eating Chipotle every day, mac and cheese from Panera, all kinds of crazy shit, and I'm down to 196. Like, it just keeps fucking dropping. So today I'm going to try to get in some more food, try to force some higher calorie stuff down too. Now that I've got my appetite back, and it's like starting to rebuild, right? Like, you're starting over, you're rebuilding, but make no mistake about it whatsoever. COVID's not a fucking joke, okay? It is not a joke. There are some people that laugh at it. There's some people that are scared shitless. I don't believe you should be fucking in your house, like looking through the blinds, like, oh shit, where's COVID out there? But I also don't believe that you should be laughing at this thing. Because I'm telling you right now, it happened to me. It hit me. Plain and simple. And I'm telling you, and people may make fun of it, and people may, oh, Jerry, you're fucking a pussy because you fucking... Look, I'm telling you right now, until you've had what I had, I don't want to fucking hear it. Until you've had fucking your head ready to split open and fucking fly into space, or your body fucking so fucking hot from a fever for over a week, I don't want to fucking hear your mouth, period. All right? Because there's a lot of people like to talk shit based on stuff they see on TV. Well, fuck you, fuck TV, I don't give a fuck. This is real life experience. This happened to me and it fucked me up. So hopefully my misery can be of benefit to someone else, because I've got these little tips that, like, let's be real. You got to figure it out as you go, right? So my wife went to the hospital. Of course, they gave her a paper that said, hey, use zinc and use this. And like all the stuff that the doctor says, you should use during it. And we'll get into that later on. That's funny that I just felt a watch. So, true story, this watch hasn't been on my wrist for a month. Well, hang on, 3 weeks, because I had it at Nationals. So for 3 weeks, I didn't put the watch on. So now it actually feels weird to have a watch, because I was fucking laid up. I couldn't do anything. So let's finish this. We're talking to me. I shoot my mouth off too much. But hey, I haven't talked to the camera in about 3 weeks, so I got a lot to say. So I'm going to finish this shake, and we got to head to the dispensary. I got to pick up some vape cartridges. I got to pick up some tinctures. All cannabis, by the way, guys. I have a medical cannabis card that I'm running low because I haven't been out there in a while. So I'm going to go out there to the dispensary, grab what I need to. And I've actually had some people say, hey, Jerry, will you put up a video of yourself high? And I'm like, high? What the fuck? Like, when I take it, it's late at night, so I really just go to bed. Like, I don't really know what it's like to be walking around high or fucking hanging out or something like that. So probably no, because I just take it to go to bed. But the whole point is that medicine is important for my insomnia. And it does help me sleep, and it has been a godsend for the last 5 or 6 years. So we're going to go do that. We're going to pick up some food at Whole Foods and get this fucking show on the road. Let's go. All right, guys, we're going to head to the dispensary. Now, you might hear this song in the background, right? Hopefully you do. If you don't, then my speakers are not working. But It's called If I Close My Eyes Forever by Lita Ford and Ozzy Osbourne. Now, I'm going to turn this down so you can hear me. You might be like, well, Jerry, why the fuck are you talking about this ancient song from like back in the late 80s, early 90s? Well, for Christmas, Aaron always has a hard time shopping for me because if I want something, I just go out there and buy it myself year round. I just don't care. It's like, I need this, I want that, whatever, I just go buy it. And I do the same with her. If I see something that she would like or that she wants or whatever, and I'm like, oh shit, she wanted that, I'll buy it for her. Like, I don't buy into this like one day a year you have to put everything aside and concentrate on the people in your life. You know, like the Hallmark moments like Christmas or the birthday or Valentine's Day or whatever the case may be. I'm like, year round, I treat everybody like that, especially my wife, who, you know, like, let's be real, why do I have to wait till Christmas to buy her, you know, whatever? Like, it doesn't make any sense. So when Christmas time comes, you know, the shit that I bought throughout the year, she's like, I don't really know what to get him. What the fuck? He buys whatever he needs and wants. So she got me Sirius Radio this year. Now, she wasn't sure whether or not I like it. I fucking love it. This is Hair Nation. So when I put the Hair Nation on, I haven't changed it from it. I just leave it on Hair Nation because it's so nostalgic, because there are songs that, you know, from like when I was in my a kid, like my teens, my early 20s, that I forgot about. Because when you get to be 46, you forget about shit. You know, new things, the world's always changing. New music styles come up. And, you know, they don't have a hair band station like this. So it's a lot of, you know, newer music that you hear in heavy rotation unless you find like a classic station. But this one has all of them. And next thing you know, I'm like downloading my phone so I can have them during my workout and stuff. So Sirius Radio to me was probably the perfect gift. I love it, babe. Thank you so much. It's badass. I love it. So we're going to head out of here and head to the dispensary now. And then I'm going to go to Whole Foods. So Jorge, you guys remember Jorge, my training partner, which we haven't trained together in a while because, of course, traffic is back to normal and he lives in Maryland. So he was like, hey, do you want to go to sushi? Now, I wasn't really up for an all-you-can-eat sushi buffet with all-you-can-eat. Like, I mean, it's really good and I love it, but right now my appetite's not there. And he had to wind up coaching. He actually coaches a wrestling team in high school, so he couldn't go anyways. But I'm going to go to Whole Foods and grab some sushi there. It's a little more bland. It probably wouldn't fuck with my stomach as much, and I don't have to like feel like, oh, I'm at the all-you-can-eat buffet, so I got to really shove it down and stuff it in and get my money's worth, so I can just eat and not worry about it. So we're going to see how that goes. And yeah, so that's where we're headed right now. I mean, it's been a good day so far. Like, I feel more energetic as the days go by, like especially after getting back in the gym. Like the first day after the gym, I came home, I was tired. I actually fell asleep for like an hour and a half. Yesterday, I stayed up. I didn't sleep. I was tired, but I forced myself to stay up. And today, I woke up full of energy, full of piss and vinegar, feeling great. It's a sunny day. It's like about 43 degrees, so it's not super cold here. Most of the snow is melted. Like, today's just one of those days where you're like, whew, like everything you've been through for the last 3 weeks, and you're just like, it's in the past. I'm just happy to be here now, happy to be feeling good, and just got to get some shit done. And in day 3, you know, like being back to life, essentially back in the gym and being back to life, I'm feeling pretty good, guys. So let's see if we can maintain this shit. Let's get out of here. So there's something you don't see every day. He's got his boombox, standing on the corner, jamming out. Go for it, buddy. Go for it. Come on. All right, quick in and out trip. So you see it has your name on it with your prescription. And what I did is I bought the Serenity tincture. So you put this under your tongue, and it'll probably, this is MCT oil, so it'll absorb a little bit differently, take a little longer to kick in. But Serenity, obviously, it's for sleep. And then we have, if you want something that's going to be faster than that, these cartridges, which this one I believe is, this one is the Fuel Biscuits, which is indica-based, indica hybrid, which will help you sleep also. This one kick in faster. So if you're like, look, I got to get to sleep, and you know, I don't have 45 minutes to wait, I just need to lay down and go to sleep, then you use something like this. And then of course I have the other one here, which is I got the Purple Punch, which is another one of these cartridges. So it's 94% THC. So why do you get 2 cartridges? Well, here's the deal. If you keep using one strain, your body will adapt to this and it won't work. Right? You build up a tolerance. Then you have to take something called a tolerance break. So what I do is I rotate this one and this one so that your body doesn't get adapted to it. And then that way there, you don't have to, you know, take more and more. Your tolerance doesn't build up and take more and more. You can actually keep the consumption down. Well, this really is raw TV, and it always has been. And I think it's important to share this right now while it's fresh. was having probably the best day I've had in a month because of COVID and stuff. Feel great, feel energetic, I'm just excited to be out, living life again. And I leave the dispensary and get a phone call. And that phone call is my aunt telling me my mom was rushed to the hospital. And it's not looking good at this point because she's been living with cancer. She's been dealing with it for the last 6 years. She's been through the treatments and she's had her ups and downs, and she wasn't supposed to be here this long. She was supposed to be gone, years ago. So she got a couple extra years, but she's not doing well right now. They rushed her to the hospital, and I'm waiting to hear back about what's going on. But my aunt said at this time it's not looking, she's not hopeful. I guess it's not looking good. I think the way that she is right now. So I'm not going to film anymore. I'm going to shut this down now. I'm going to just be kind of with my thoughts, and I'm here at Whole Foods. I'm going to go eat, so I'm just going to shut it down now. And it just goes to show you guys, like, life is a balance. It really is. Like, interesting enough, when I was in high school, my senior quote, I actually picked it out of a box because I fucked around and I didn't do one. So they had ones that nobody, other people were thinking about using, and when they decided not to, they put them in a box. And I took it out of the shoebox, and it was nothing very good or very bad, lasts very long. I was 17 when I put that in my yearbook, and I've really, really learned over time that is 100% true. Like, you can be having the best day and something can pull that rug right out from underneath you, or you could be having the worst day and one little thing happens and it changes your entire perspective and your energy and your feelings and thoughts and puts you on a great trajectory. And it's just, life is 1 minute to another, great to bad, bad to great. It just is, So I'm going to go force this food down now, because now I really don't have an appetite. When I get upset, I really can't eat, but I'm going to go force this food down because I need to. And my mom would actually want me to eat. She'd be like, go eat. You need to eat. And keep you guys updated. So thank you guys for following me through the day. Day 3 back from COVID. And I don't even know how to finish this. I'll see you guys later. Thanks, guys.